Who will own the bottom of the ocean? The deep-sea mining race that could shape the next 50 years. A new global resource race is underway. Not for oil, not for gold, and not on land. It is happening thousands of meters beneath the ocean's surface, in a world of perpetual darkness where sunlight never reaches, where strange creatures glow in the black water, and where pressures are so immense they can crush steel. Hidden on this seafloor are trillions of metallic rocks, small, potato-sized lumps rich in nickel, cobalt, copper, and manganese. The same minerals needed to build electric cars, the same minerals needed for batteries, the same minerals needed to power the green economy of the future. Some believe these rocks could be worth trillions of dollars. Others warn that mining them could damage one of the least understood ecosystems on Earth. And now nations, corporations, and international organizations are fighting over a simple but profound question: who will own the bottom of the ocean? Will it be China? Will it be the United States? Will it be private companies backed by tiny island nations? Or will humanity decide that some frontiers are simply too important to exploit? This is the story of deep-sea mining, the race that could shape the next 50 years. The green paradox. The world is racing toward a greener future. Governments are investing billions into electric vehicles. Factories are producing batteries at record speed. Wind turbines and solar farms are spreading across continents. But there is a problem. The green revolution requires enormous quantities of minerals: nickel, cobalt, copper, manganese. Without them, there are no batteries. Without batteries, there is no energy transition. And demand is exploding. Today, much of the world's supply comes from a handful of countries. The Democratic Republic of Congo dominates cobalt production. Indonesia has become a giant in nickel. Chile leads in copper. China controls large parts of mineral refining and battery manufacturing. This concentration worries many governments. What happens if supply chains are disrupted? What happens if geopolitical tensions rise? What happens if the minerals needed for the future are controlled by geopolitical rivals? For years, these questions have pushed governments and companies to search for alternatives. And that search has led them to one of the least explored places on Earth: the abyssal plain, the deep ocean floor. The trillion-dollar treasure. 4,000 to 6,000 meters below the ocean's surface lies a hidden treasure. Scattered across vast underwater plains are polymetallic nodules. They are not gemstones. They are not giant boulders. They are dark metallic lumps, usually no larger than a potato. But inside them are some of the world's most valuable minerals. Over millions of years, metals dissolved in seawater slowly accumulated around tiny objects: a shark tooth, a shell fragment, even a fish bone. Layer after layer, century after century, until these strange metallic rocks were born. And there are trillions of them. The richest known region lies in the Pacific Ocean, a vast stretch of seabed between Hawaii and Mexico called the Clarion-Clipperton Zone, or simply the KCS. This area covers millions of square kilometers. Some estimates suggest it contains more nickel, cobalt, and manganese than many land reserves combined. For mining companies, this looks like a dream. No mountains to blast, no villages to relocate, no open pits stretching for kilometers, just machines collecting nodules from the ocean floor. At least that's the promise. China, America, and the new resource war. The race for these minerals is not only about economics, it is about power. Because whoever controls critical minerals may control the industries of the future. And no country understands this better than China. For decades, Beijing invested heavily in mineral processing, battery manufacturing, and deep-sea research. Today, China is already a major player in critical mineral supply chains. It also holds more exploration contracts in international waters than any other nation. Its scientists have spent years developing underwater robots. Its ships regularly explore the deep ocean. Its strategy is simple: secure the resources, control the supply chains, shape the future. But China is not alone. The United States is watching carefully, and America faces an unusual problem. The United States never ratified the Convention on the Law of the Sea. That means it is not a member of the international body that regulates mining in international waters. So Washington faces a dilemma. Should it work outside the system? Should it create its own licensing framework? Or should it allow China to move first? What is emerging is not merely a mining race. It is a contest over who writes the rules of the next resource age. The next Cold War may not begin in space. It may begin at the bottom of the ocean. What happens to Africa? And that raises another question, one that receives far less attention. What happens to Africa? For decades, Africa has been described as the future of critical minerals. The Democratic Republic of Congo possesses vast cobalt reserves. Zambia is a major copper producer. South Africa remains one of the world's mining giants. Zimbabwe is rich in lithium. These resources have given African nations growing importance in the global economy. But what happens if the world suddenly discovers a new source of minerals beneath the ocean? Could deep-sea mining weaken Africa's leverage? Could investors move their money away from African mines? Could governments lose bargaining power? Or could the opposite happen? Because there is another possibility. Deep-sea mining may prove too expensive, too risky, too controversial. Environmental opposition may slow or stop the industry. If that happens, African minerals could become even more valuable. In other words, the race to mine the ocean could either reduce Africa's importance or reinforce it. The continent's future may depend on decisions made thousands of kilometers offshore. The environmental gamble. But before anyone starts collecting trillions of dollars worth of minerals, there is a problem. The deep ocean is not empty. It is one of the most mysterious ecosystems on Earth. Scientists continue to discover new species. Some glow in the dark. Some live for decades. Some may exist nowhere else on the planet. And nobody fully understands how this ecosystem works. Mining companies argue they can minimize damage. Environmental groups are not convinced. They warn that giant collector machines could destroy habitats that took millions of years to form. Sediment clouds stirred up by mining could drift far beyond the mining site. Noise and vibrations could disrupt marine life. And because the deep ocean changes so slowly, damaged ecosystems may require centuries to recover, or they may never recover at all. This is why dozens of countries are calling for caution. Some want a moratorium, others want a temporary pause. Many scientists argue that humanity should first understand the deep sea before attempting to industrialize it, because once mining begins, there may be no turning back. So what do you think? Should humanity mine the deep ocean to secure the minerals needed for a greener future? Or should we protect one of the last untouched frontiers on Earth? And what would deep-sea mining mean for Africa? Could it threaten the continent's mineral advantage? Or make African resources even more important? Let us know in the comments below. We are standing at a historic crossroads. One path leads to a vast new source of critical minerals, a chance to fuel the green revolution, a chance to reshape global power. The other path leads to caution, to protecting an ecosystem we barely understand, to preserving one of the last great wildernesses on Earth. The race for the deep sea is more than a fight over rocks. It is a struggle between ambition and restraint, between national interests and global responsibility, between what humanity can do and what humanity should do. The starting gun has been fired. The technology is advancing. The politics are intensifying. But the final decision has not yet been made. Who will own the bottom of the ocean? And what price will humanity be willing to pay to find out? The answer may define the next 50 years. This is Sal Pierce signing off from Vlog End, where we work to uncover the true stories of Africa and the world. Thank you for watching. If this deep dive challenged your thinking and helped you see the complex forces shaping Africa more clearly, please consider subscribing. It helps us continue this work and ensures you never miss what comes next. We truly appreciate your support.